What's up, plant lovers? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Brad and we're back at it again. Today what I want to do is I want to do something similar to what I've done with my fiddle leaf fig, and that is show you what the progress of my Ficus Elastica Tineke looks like after giving it the big chop. Similar to the fiddle leaf fig, I gave my Ficus Elastica a big chop about 5 weeks ago, and since then it's done some pretty interesting things. I want to show you what the progress of this looks like so it can give you the courage to give your tree the big chop as well, and to know that your tree will not die. If anything, what it will do is it will give your tree the characteristics that a Ficus Elastica Tineke might look like in the wild, as well as give it characteristics that might get your friends and family talking about just how cool it looks. So let's get to it. So this is my Ficus Elastica Tineke, and I also did a big chop on this Ficus Elastica as well. I did this at about the same time as my fiddle leaf fig, so this is going to be on the same pace. I decided to go ahead and start tracking the progress of what it looks like after the big chop for this particular plant, just so I can see what the differences are with the fiddle leaf fig. So we're going to call this a week 5, but on the post I'm going to say week 2, just so we can be on the same track. So this is about 2 weeks after the nodes started to form, or the growth started to form off of the nodes of the main trunk of my Ficus Elastica Tineke. Now you'll notice too, what I find interesting when I do these big chops is that the leaves always start off much smaller than what the mature leaves look like. So these leaf sets are going to continue to get bigger until it will eventually reach the size of my hand. That's how it was before I did the big chop. If you can see here, this leaf on the left is older than the leaf on the right, and this leaf on the left is also smaller than the leaf on the right. So I expect for this new leaf that's coming out to be bigger than this leaf right here. We can see that there are a couple of growth points that will allow for this particular tree to be absolutely beautiful once it matures a little bit more. So we have a growth point here, 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 so that's 4. And then we have another set of 3 growth points further down the stem. And then we also have just a nice hefty trunk. If you like videos like this and want to continue to see more videos about houseplant tips and tricks, please be sure to subscribe to my channel. It's totally free and it means a lot. Thank you so much. Now back to the video. A couple of notes here about how I'm taking care of this Ficus Elastica Tineke post chop. One of the main things that I'm doing is giving it full direct sunlight. Full direct sunlight is key in order to get the variegation on the leaves. I'm also doing a double dose of fertilizer every watering, which is every week, similar to my fiddle leaf fig. That is also helping to encourage these multiple branches. So with the double fertilizer as well as the direct sunlight, so it gets about 6 hours of sun every single day, this is what the growth looks like so far. Do not be afraid to give your tree direct sunlight. The key is to make sure that you properly acclimate it. If you don't properly acclimate it, what you will find is these leaves will begin to scorch and burn. Eventually though, the new leaves that are put out will be able to withstand the intensity of the sun. If on the other hand you properly acclimate it, your older leaves will be able to eventually build up the tolerance to withstand the direct sunlight, and then the new leaves that come out will also withstand that direct sunlight. An additional thing that I want to point out is how thick this stem is. You'll hear different things about what encourages a thick stem. Some people say that a thick stem is just a matter of waiting for your plant to become more mature and become older. That isn't the case. What causes the thick stem is the movement of the stem itself. So by placing this particular tree outside, as well as my other trees during the growing season, it helps to encourage a nice strong stem that's going to be able to support the fresh flush of growth that is happening right now. If you don't put your tree outside, what you're going to end up having is a stem that might be a little too weak to support the growth. So you can begin to shake your tree, and you can do this every so often, and that should encourage the stem to thicken up, but you do have to do it pretty vigorously, and you want to make sure that you do it for a bit of time. By placing the tree outside, you have the wind that is constantly blowing, and it might get a total of, let's say, an hour's worth of movement in a 24-hour period, and you compound that, and that's how you get the stick stem here. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so you can keep up with the progress of what my Ficus Elastica Tineke looks like post-chop. Again, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next week when I give you an update on what the Ficus Elastica Tineke looks like then. See you on the next one.